Welcome to Betrayal Affairs, the home of stories that expose life's most unforgettable moments of pain, resilience, and redemption. Today's story will shake you. It begins with a heartbreaking loss and leads to an act of quiet heroism that changed an entire family's destiny. When a mother is widowed too soon, the burden of survival falls on her shoulders, but what her son does next will leave you speechless. Watch until the very end, because this is more than just a story. It's a powerful reminder that in a world that often forgets the vulnerable, grace can come from the most unexpected places. If you're new to Betrayal Affairs, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss a true life story that will move your soul. And if today's video touches your heart, give it a like. It helps us bring you more stories that matter. Now, let's begin. Once upon a time, in a quiet suburb of Columbus, Ohio, lived a 12-year-old boy named Ethan Williams. He shared a small 2-bedroom townhouse with his mom, Sarah, and his older sister, Emily. The house was old but sturdy, built years ago by Ethan's father, Mark, a hardworking man who spent over a decade at a local HVAC company. Mark was the heart of their home, a church-going man with rough hands and a warm laugh. He loved his family fiercely. But one bitter winter night, everything changed. Mark collapsed in their living room. A sudden heart attack, gone in minutes. He was only 38. The Williams family's world shattered. Sarah, just 29, was left staring at a future she hadn't planned for. No husband, no second income, no backup. The company offered condolences and handed her a check for $2,000, Mark's final paycheck, and a life insurance payout that barely scratched the surface. At first, the church community dropped off casseroles and cards. Cousins called, friends stopped by. But by the end of the second month, it was just silence. The phone stopped ringing. The doorbell never chimed. Everyone, it seemed, had moved on. Everyone except Sarah, Ethan, and Emily. Bills piled up fast. The mortgage was still due. The heating bill that February was nearly $400. Groceries were a daily worry. Sarah tried everything. She sold her wedding ring, her car, even some of Mark's old tools. But money doesn't stretch far when every dollar is a battle. She sat at the kitchen table one night, staring at their near-empty pantry, and made the hardest choice of her life. She would clean houses. At first, it was just one client, a local real estate agent. Then 2. Eventually, she juggled 3 homes per day, 6 days a week. She worked herself raw. Her hands cracked from bleach. Her knees ached from scrubbing bathroom tiles. And her pride, it bled quietly, especially when former friends acted like they didn't see her in their neighborhoods. For all that work, she brought home about $1,200 a month. Rent alone was $750. But Sarah kept going. Not because she had strength, but because she had no choice. Meanwhile, Ethan tried to stay focused in school. He saw the stress on his mother's face every morning and the exhaustion in her silence every night. He knew money was tight. He didn't ask for new shoes. He didn't complain about dinner, even when it was just buttered toast. But hunger, as we know, is a powerful enemy. One Monday morning, Ethan arrived at school dizzy and weak. He hadn't eaten all weekend. The food pantry at church was closed, and there was nothing left in the kitchen. His stomach growled during math. He tried to drink from the fountain, hoping water would fool his body into thinking it was full, but his body couldn't be fooled anymore. By fourth period, Ethan's vision blurred. The classroom lights dimmed in his eyes, and he slumped forward on his desk. His teacher, Mr. Bennett, noticed immediately. Mr. Bennett wasn't just any teacher. He was the kind of man who remembered every student's name and asked about their siblings. He coached JV basketball even though he wasn't paid for it. Kids trusted him. He knelt beside Ethan's desk. "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" "I'm okay," Ethan muttered, barely audible. "You don't look okay." A long pause. Then, Ethan whispered, "We don't have food at home. I haven't eaten since Friday." Mr. Bennett didn't hesitate. He gently helped Ethan to his feet, walked into the teacher's lounge, and pulled a crisp $20 from his wallet. "Can you run to the gas station and grab a sandwich, some fruit, and juice for my student?" he asked the janitor. 10 minutes later, Ethan had a hot sandwich in his hand. He was hesitant at first, embarrassed, ashamed, but one bite changed everything. Food had never tasted so good. Mr. Bennett sat with him the whole time. Feel better? Ethan nodded, eyes wide. Yes, sir. Thank you. Good. After school, come by my classroom. I want to talk. That afternoon, Ethan did as he was told. Mr. Bennett stood by his desk, holding his car keys. Come on, he said. We've got some errands. They drove to Kroger. Mr. Bennett filled the cart with rice, beans, pasta, peanut butter, canned vegetables, bread, eggs, and milk. Ethan was stunned. When they reached his home, Sarah was still working. So Mr. Bennett carried everything into the kitchen, left a note that simply read, "You are not alone." From that day on, Mr. Bennett took care of their monthly groceries, quietly, without ever drawing attention to himself. He even spoke to the school office and had Ethan's lunch debt wiped clean. When Sarah came home that evening and saw the food, she dropped to her knees. Who did this? Mr. Bennett, Ethan replied. Sarah covered her face and wept. Mr. Bennett wasn't rich. He lived alone, drove an old Corolla, and often stayed late at school correcting papers. But every month, he showed up. Sometimes in person, sometimes through gift cards or care packages left on their porch. And never once did he ask for anything in return. I'm just doing what God would want me to do, he told Sarah one day. You're not just Ethan's mom, you're my sister in Christ, and families look out for each other. Sarah hugged him tightly, tears in her eyes. You're the first person to call me family since Mark died. Ethan, meanwhile, was changing. He started showing up to class early, volunteered for science club, stayed after school for tutoring. He had hope again. Fueled by Mr. Bennett's faith in him, Ethan worked harder than he ever had. His grades soared, his confidence returned. He dreamed bigger than he ever dared before. And then, senior year, the letter arrived. Full ride scholarship. Engineering program, University of Michigan. The boy who once fainted from hunger was now heading to one of the best schools in the country, completely free. Sarah screamed with joy. Emily cried. And Mr. Bennett, he just smiled, proud like a father. Before Ethan left, he sat down with Mr. Bennett and said, Sir, I don't know how to repay you. Mr. Bennett placed a hand on his shoulder. You don't. You just do the same for someone else one day. College life was a blessing. Ethan never forgot his roots. Every month he sent money home. Ibadom told his mom to stop working. She finally retired her mop and apron, planted a garden, and joined a women's Bible study. Their house, once cold and broken, now had flowers in the windows and warmth in every corner. Ethan picked up a part-time job tutoring other students. He bought his sister a new laptop for her nursing degree. Life was finally good. And then came the job offer. A Fortune 500 company. A 6-figure salary. Ethan was just 24. Before starting the role, he came back home, not for vacation but for a mission. He asked around. Tracked down Mr. Bennett, who had retired the year before. When Ethan finally found him, he was heartbroken. Mr. Bennett was living in a small trailer on the edge of town. His health was poor. His savings drained from helping others. Ethan wept. He took Mr. Bennett to the best hospital in the state, paid every bill, bought him a new house closer to town, stocked it with furniture and everything he could ever need. Sarah, now glowing with peace, visited often. That's how she met Rachel, Mr. Bennett's daughter, a kind, God-fearing young woman who had become her father's full-time caregiver. In time, Ethan and Rachel grew close. Shared stories, shared faith, shared laughter. 1 year later, surrounded by their family and friends, they got married. Mr. Bennett, in tears, walked his daughter down the aisle and handed her to the very boy he once fed in a school staff room. Life comes full circle in ways we can't imagine. Ethan went on to build not just a successful career, but a foundation, offering scholarships to kids in poverty, just like him, all because one teacher chose to care. So friends, that was today's story. A story about grief, hunger, faith, and the unbelievable power of one person's compassion. What did this story mean to you? Let us know in the comments. If you believe in kindness, in miracles, in second chances, share this video. And remember to subscribe to Betrayal Affairs, where every story reveals just how extraordinary ordinary people can be. Until next time, stay kind, stay strong, and never forget, even a single act of love can change someone's entire life. God bless.